Had a real good debate on Facebook talking about Sanford and Son and the Jeffersons and Good Times. Did these shows only have three peak prime years? Now I say this because I know Sanford ran for about I want to say 6 years, and Good Times ran for about 6 years I want to say, and Jefferson's ran for 11. But these successful black shows, did they? And most times, if you get 5 year run, is considered great. But do you think that peak and prime? I mentioned the Sanford and Son because some people said, well, we're in fact Red Fox held out, stuff became watered down after 75, and it wasn't the same. So what do you think? And when you're thinking about these classic shows, how long is it considered a great run? I mean, when I talk about great run, I'm talking about the quality. I'm not talking about the longevity. See, this is the LeBron James argument. You know how people talk about, well, you were a long time. That doesn't necessarily mean that your show was great all that time. I tell all the time about The Sopranos. It was on 6, 7 years, but it only had to me 2.5, 3 of peak prime. Just like when I watched Dexter, the first three were great. The fourth year was decent. After that, it was, and I ain't that excited about the reboots and other stuff coming out. But classic shows, kind of like with Dallas, that Bobby Ewing in the shower, it was watered down. It was never the same. They should have stopped pretty much at the 85, 86. That was it. After 85, it just kept going in name only. But often than not, that you can watch shows and you think, okay, a great show really has a 3 year peak. That's why we was getting into it about Sanford Son, talking about the Jeffersons, talking about Good Times. Because once James Sr. was gone off of Good Times, it wasn't the same. John Ames was gone, it wasn't the same. So, but I'm curious as to what you think, you know. And you can feel free to tell me if you've seen a show that you think that they had more than 3 years of peak and prime, where you thought, okay, this show got better and better with each passing season. Or is it the standard to have 3 year window? You know, I'd be curious as to get some feedback on this because we had a great discussion about it in Facebook, talking about it, talking about Sanford and Son. Love the show. And I always know when Grady took over Lamont, it wasn't the same. And the storylines and the writings changed. Obviously, when Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor were writing, it had more edge. And then once they got more polish, it took some of the luster off because obviously when you catch people fresh and hungry and raw, that's when you get the best. But anyway, curious as to what you think. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep in mind, clear. Watch out for another shitter if you're liking them out. Peace.